Hi guys, so it's India, and if you're new here, hi, and if you're not, welcome back. So I put some video requests, and one of them was how to revise for biology. So this is still in my How I Revise series, but I just thought I'd do it because I kind of want to get all the subjects done by like March, April time. So yeah, the disclaimer. Because this is being videoed in December and posted in like early January, these methods of course are going to be different to the ones I'm using in April, May time when it's like crunch time. So just beware. So this would be just as useful for year 10s and 11s, and if you're year 9 and starting them already, it would be useful in that. But if you're watching this in May, it may not be quite the right method to revise from. But so first thing I do is I make flashcards. So these are 3 of the slightly tidier flashcards, since I have a rather big pile of kind of messy flashcards, which is fine, but this is much easier to explain. So I've done all of mine like a separate colour, so I've done plants in green, I've done hormones in pink, and I've done exchange materials in purple. Not really any reason for it, but just why not. And on here I go through the spec and I make brief notes over what I need to do. I think if you don't notice, I've drawn some of the basic diagrams. So I've drawn tables, I've drawn like tiny stomata thingies, but in terms of like a complicated like diagram, there is no point you drawing out. Like honestly, don't bother, it's gonna just waste you loads of time. I also made it easy so I can learn formulas, because although there's not many formulas in biology, the ones there are you do have to know. So they're in yellow, so when I look at them I can be immediately like, oh there you go, that's a formula I need to remember. So I find that really useful. So as core practicals seem to make up a lot of our GCSE grades, they are very important to like get right. So again, I've created method cards for each of them, and they've got pictures in some of them, got formulas depending on what like the topic is. And I also went, because I do Edexcel, I went on the Edexcel website and found like the different questions that the teacher's meant to ask a student, like to help them like think about the aim of the practical. So I personally did this on my own and got like questions and answered them. So it might be something like, what subcellular structures can be seen under a light microscope? And then I put the answer in the back so I can test myself. But the methods are really, really important to go over, because there's like a chance you're going to get a 6 marker or a 4 marker. The thing I say is books. So, I mean, most people don't have a textbook, but I do for some reason. So this is useful, and if you have more than one source to get your information from, that's also quite useful. Then I think most people have a revision guide. A CGP ones are really, really good because they explain it in a really simple way. But with a lot of them you can have like the online edition, which is going to help you because you don't have to carry it around with you all the time. And this is a bit of a weird one, but I have like an illustrated dictionary of science, which I just had laying around. Like, it wasn't particular for biology, it's got biology, chemistry, physics, and when there's something I don't get, it means I can look up in here and it might give me a better idea. So having more than one source allows you to be able to understand something more. So, staying on the topic of things you don't know, it's worth looking online. So Primrose Kitten's a good one. ASAP Science is quite good. If I think of any more, I'll link them down in the description. And it just means you've got another way of explaining it. So, or ask your teacher, or try and do it in an interactive way. So I try to teach myself protein synthesis with pieces of paper. Only thing I'd say with biology, some of it is just parroting it. You don't need to understand it, and don't hear me say this because it's not very good, but if you don't get something, the chances are, because it's biology and biology is like the easiest science, we're going to go in that in like parenthesis because it's not really easy, but it's more like learn facts, like regurgitate those facts. So I'd make it worthwhile just learning definitions, learning like main processes, so like osmosis, diffusion, mitosis, meiosis, protein synthesis, just so you just know them. It just makes it more easy. What I was actually going to say though is it's worthwhile getting a exam practice workbook or downloading some specimen papers. Also, if you've done mocks, you obviously have papers, so cover up the answers and then with a post-it note, and then write on the post-it note your new answer, and then check that against the mark scheme. But I really hope this video is of use, and I'm going to put some more videos up. I don't know what is next, but this, just as a thing, this video applies to combined and separate science, because I do separate, but the methods you're using will apply either way. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and comment the easiest thing in biology. Bye guys!